A single ember popped, arcing through the air like a tiny shooting star. It landed in the dry thatch of the roof. No one saw it, except Ikenna. The ember glowed, breathing in oxygen, and then whoosh, the flame caught. Ikenna didn't yell. He didn't waste a single second on words. He bolted from the bushes. He grabbed the heavy clay water pot sitting by the door of the hut, a pot he knew was there because he had seen it in his vision, and smashed it against the burning wall. Crash! The sound stopped the compound. The water hissed, killing the climbing fire instantly. "What is this?" the chief roared, storming out. He saw Ikenna standing amidst the broken pottery and wet thatch. "You!" The chief seized Ikenna by the collar. "You invade my home, you break my property. Have you come to curse my children?" "Look up," Ikenna panted, pointing a shaking finger. The chief looked. Above the wet patch where the pot had smashed, the thatch was charred black. A thin wisp of smoke curled into the air. If the water hadn't hit it, the roof would have been ablaze in seconds. Directly underneath that roof was the window to the children's room. The compound went silent. The chief looked at the burn mark. He looked at the oblivious children playing inside. He looked at the boy he had stoned weeks ago. You put it out," the chief whispered. "You didn't say anything. You put it out." "Ikenna saw it coming," he said, his voice steady for the first time in years. "And I knew you wouldn't believe me if I told you, so I just handled it." Ikenna did not become a hero overnight. There was no parade. People are proud and they hate admitting they were wrong. But the stone throwing stopped. Slowly, the dynamic changed. Ikenna stopped trying to convince people of his visions. He simply acted on them. When he saw a fisherman's net would tangle and drag him under, Ikenna didn't warn him. He just walked by the boat at dawn and cut the frayed rope, replacing it with a new one. The fisherman never knew his life was saved. He only knew he had a good day. When he saw a sickness coming on the wind, he didn't preach. He simply harvested the specific herbs needed and left bundles of them at the doorsteps of the families who would need them. He stopped looking for credit. He started looking for results. Years later, Ikenna stood on the beach again as a man. He was no longer a strange boy. They called him the Watcher. He was still apart from them, still a little lonely, but he was at peace. He watched the waves roll in, smiling. He finally understood that while you cannot force the world to listen, you can always choose to catch it when it falls. The moral of the story: we all have moments where we feel like Ikenna, seeing problems that others ignore, feeling misunderstood or frustrated that our advice is rejected. This story reminds us of a powerful truth: you cannot force people to understand your perspective.